So, like, are you gonna show me to my room? Is that is that why
Well,
you're
yes.
here?
That's what
Hey,
I say.
I don't like that. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Chortle Games Live. My name is Steven, and join with me tonight is Austin.
Hello.
Say hey, Austin. I said say hey. You've
Oh,
ruined the
okay.
stream.
Whoa. Whoa, man.
Whoa. Um, so we're doing some Summit on Division 2. That's how we're going to start this thing anyway. The plan is to get at least one more person to join us. I don't know if he'll be available or not, but we're going to see what happens. So we're going to make an attempt, just the two of us, see what we can do. And if it just goes just tragically wrong, we may go do a manhunt mission or something while we figure this out. So I just want to appreciate before we go into Summit. I know those of you that got to watch our PTS stream, um, really a big fan of this floor of the Summit, like just the entry floor. I thought they did a great job setting up the aesthetic because like it it feels like walking into a raid. I think is what I how I described it. Is that right, Austin?
I think so.
Like I get and like this is gonna sound like don't yell at me for saying this, but like it gives me the vibe of Callus's ship, the Leviathan. Is that it?
Leviathan?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like when you arrive
Oh,
and you've got that long walkway, it gives me that vibe. To where it's like,
yeah.
not to say that they're similar outside of just the feeling of walking into something big, you know.
Yeah.
And I get that vibe from this. So I'm a big fan of that. I think it's cool how when you walk in, if you look up, that's the building that we're about to try to fight our way up through. So strong start. I've made it with Austin's help. I've made it um, pretty high up. And in fact, Austin, you're going to be surprised with our options. So you're gonna tell me which one you'd prefer, Austin. Do
Okay.
you want to go floors 51 to 60 for heroic no directive, 61 to 70 with heroic one directive, 71 to 80 with heroic three directive, or 81 legendary no directive? I've been busy.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah. You've
Um,
never done legendary at all.
no. We haven't done a legendary mission at all yet. I want to do one. I want that exotic. Okay.
We'll see. We'll try. I'm the only person I know that has Bighorn,
Okay.
and that's because Jeremy is a generous god.
Let's do legendary. Legendary. You
Let's
wait. You
give it
said the first two. Okay.
legendary no directive. I just unlocked this earlier today. By the way, heroic three directive. It's rough, man. But I did
It's
it.
rough, man.
I did it because of tip of the spear and the crossbow.
All
My two
right.
best friends. Okay. So a little bit of a briefing here, Austin. Don't leave the elevator. Just because I don't know what's gonna happen. Legendary is not just another difficulty. Legendary overrides the enemy faction, and it is always a variant on Black Tusk. Because of course it is. And what I mean by that is that it is a version of Black Tusk that is much worse. Um, all of their stuff is going to be more difficult. It's going to behave differently. All of their heavies, for example, have a stinger hive attached to them.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Do I have, will Jammer Pulse help with that?
We definitely want you to have Jammer Pulse. Jammer Pulse is the most valuable asset in in all Legendary. Excuse me.
The first one's gonna be secure the cache, I bet.
I
Calling
bet
it.
it's going to be EMP Pulse, just all the way up. how much how much of a dick move would that be? Just you
Three
guys
heavies
just
and EMP Pulse.
guys just had EMP Pulse for the last 4 floors. Well, don't worry. This one's another EMP Pulse.
I'm leaving one. I'm leaving the elevator. Should I put a chameleon then, or just
Um,
keep Sweet Dreams on?
so ammo hoarders is not on, so I would not worry about Sweet Dreams. Um, well, it depends. What are you running with this build that you're working on?
Um, I'm currently running the. Oh, that's not the right one. There we go. Fire starter.
Okay.
First of all, I'm running the PP-19 Bison that you gave me. The
Okay.
max damage, max critical chance with accuracy, and then Sweet Dreams for now.
So this isn't your shield build.
It is.
Oh, okay, cool. So,
This type.
if you've got a good automatic, aside from Sweet Dreams, I would say probably bring Sweet Dreams. And if they are mainly elites, we'll reevaluate from there. So,
Okay.
good luck. Good luck out there.
All right.
I already hear the key, by the way.
All right.
I am
Tell me.
running heals.
Okay.
Don't overextend. Also, the drones from like the drone chargers, the ones that self-destruct, they move about
Yeah.
5 times as fast now. So,
What?
yep, it's a mess, and they've got like multi-million health. You're about to see why we get back in there. You've got a shield. Open the door.
Fine.
You're about to see why we haven't tried a legendary
Curious.
mission with you yet,
It's curious right there.
and why we've only beaten one so far. So secure area is a best case. Oh wait, shade crate. Yep, you were right.
Uh-huh.
All right, I'm gonna hug towards the back. Don't get too close up in their face. You will regret it. If you can, prioritize chargers. They're the biggest headache.
Ouch. Okay then.
Get that medic.
Yep. Here.
Nice. All right, hold the spot.
Nope.
How do they still have control? I guess I need to be in it too.
Yeah, there were 2 in there.
Oh shoot! Oh, we're so dead. We're so dead.
Yeah, I'm backing up real quick.
Goodness.
Gotta go around.
Yep.
There's an elite here.
Yep.
There's
Trying
like
to push him back. Try to help me hold this shade cache, cause.
Yep, IMP.
Yep.
There's a Rider in the back I'm gonna try to get.
All right, we got it. Push out. I'll hold it.
Yep. It's just that guy now.
Yep. All right, I'm sacking the drone just to give it a fresh duration.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, more of them,
Oh,
more of
there's
them. Yep.
Didn't notice.
You got a charger. Drone's almost ready. Stay alive for just a few more seconds. And it is on its way.
Oh, I tried to put my shield away. Didn't work.
Crawl towards this wall where I am.
Yep.
Wow.
And they shot me.
What unsportsmanlike conduct, shooting a guy who's down. Who does that?
Right. I'm watching this guy. Yeah, he's just basically.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't. I hate grenade spam. I was stuck. I literally couldn't move.
He legit had just a grenade launcher. He didn't throw grenades, he just had a grenade launcher.
Did he just say rogues?
What?
Did Isaac just say rogues? I thought I heard rogues.
I don't know.
I switched over to tip the spear.
Okay. Okay, so do you want me to switch to normal pulse to see what happens?
Nah.
Okay.
Jammer's gonna do us more good.
Okay. Alright, we're about to find out. We're about to find out if it's rogues. Here we go.
Yep.
He said rogues. Nah, I see 3. Yep.
Yep. I feel like I've got a pretty good angle. Watch the right.
Yep.
Yeah, there was nothing I could do. They just hit way too hard and they don't take any damage.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Can you get me?
Yep.
Way to back yourself in the corner.
Oh, come on. No, I can get you. Yeah, I'm gonna die. Yep. I can't see.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we can two-man legendary.
Yeah.
So we're gonna need to go to a different floor, probably. Do you want to do
Yeah.
directives or no directives? Because we're here for loot anyway, so...
Yeah. We can do no directives. Or either one.
Okay, so we'll go back down. Can we change the floor from here? Or do we have to...
I do not see a button.
Let's see if we can... I guess we... Okay, yeah, I'm returning to the lobby. Hey, Can. Pretty bad. It's going pretty bad. We tried the two-man legendary because Austin had never seen it before, so I was like, "Hey, you wanna see what it's like to die?" And Austin was like, "Yeah."
Did not
So-
go too well.
It did not go well at all. I feel like that first one went pretty well, like the shade secure, but
The grenade launcher.
freaking grenade launcher and the fact that I couldn't move. There's just so much. Like, one thing I have noticed in the skyscraper is that there is a lot of random, like, collision issue.
Yeah.
Where you'll like run into something that's not there, or well, that's mainly the problem actually, just running into stuff that's not there. All right.
Oh, there we go. Rogue free. Legendary. 1-0. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1. 1 Legendary 3 directives is 91 to 100.
Yep.
God. Imagine getting ammo hoarders on Legendary. Imagine that.
No, Austin. I will not imagine that because I don't want to.
Do it.
I'd like to pretend that that doesn't exist.
What's ammo hoarders on Legendary? What's that? Doesn't exist.
Yeah, ammo hoarders seems to be the worst one so far. I say that, and I'm sure I'll be eating those words pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because there's probably something way worse.
This restock is in the couch.
It sure is. And they said they fixed that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Shade Tech.
Yep, I'm going left.
Oh.
So moving.
How am I doing less damage in Heroic than I was in Legendary? What is happening?
I'm already capturing it. There we go.
Alright, I'll hold the point if you want to push out. Kaylin said, "Hi Austin, you sound like you're on a plane."
Oh, I probably. Hold on.
You know, funny enough, he is on a plane. He is flying over the Great White North right now. Although it's not so much the Great White North, it's more so just the North, or the Great North.
Is that better?
Yes, that is better.
All right. That makes sense. All right. Oh, right. Okay.
Yep.
Let me fix my sound real quick.
Yeah, my time to kill is much lower on Heroic against Cleaners than Legendary against Black Tusk, and that does not make any sense to me. No, Kalen, he was not on a plane. That was just a goof. I got you. You've been bamboozled.
I gotta turn my TV down again. Turn the TV down. Chat audio. There we go.
What was Jared flying to Las Vegas for? I'm gonna check my future initiative build.
Alright.
Just to see what its time to kill is, because that's what I was playing on Legendary, but it should have a lower time to kill than my pet build.
Wait, you can check time to kill, or is that just a...
It's just a like in my head.
Oh, okay.
You can check time to kill or TTK at the firing range, although I wouldn't trust the firing range for anything because it's worthless. Yeah, these guys are taking longer to kill. feel like. Maybe this build's damage output is just higher than... No, it shouldn't be, because that other build should be putting out way more damage. Oh, well, I'll stick with this just to keep us... Of course you're here.
There it is.
Matter of time. Push in and try to stay alive on top of it until it becomes vulnerable.
I reached you from here. Go.
Oh, shoot.
I'm about to get downed. Dude, it is health damage as well.
Is absurd.
Oh, I think I got it. I don't know.
Oh, you did. Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, you know Jake, he loves the slots. That was slots, not sluts, in case it sounded like I said sluts. I was saying slots because they have a lot of those in Vegas. So don't at me with, wow, Jake, Steven had some pretty outlandish accusations about you. It was a joke to begin with, but I just want to clarify that the joke was not that Jake likes the sluts. It was the slots. I've gotten in trouble for less. Probably. I don't know. Boy, it's dark in here.
Yeah. I don't know why it gets so dark at points. You just do one little thing.
I don't know why they just don't let you have a flashlight on everything.
On a gun.
Like, without even... Like, don't even make us have to put it on a gun to lose a mod slot. Just put it on our gear.
Alright.
Just let us press a button. It's like, oh, what? A flashlight. Wow, that's amazing. That's so hard to do.
Like, Destiny understood that. One on dark area, bam. Light.
There you go, Massive. Destiny did it, so that means you have to do it. Oof. I was talking about slot machines. That's slot machines, not slut machines. I don't know what a slut machine would be, but I don't want to venture a guess, because that seems like it would not be something very good for me to talk about on the stream. Not for kids. COPPA, don't come at me. That was a joke regardless, so type of slots is irrelevant. Thank you for your time, Kaylin. I'm just gonna go ahead and not show that comment, Kaylin. You didn't break any rules. You didn't, you know. But I'm just gonna let that comment die there, you know. You know the one. Kalen pulled the blue wrench on himself. He deleted his own comment. Takanik said, Steven's an interesting person. That's good. That's really good that you think that. I like to think that I'm interesting. Or at least not boring. I have interesting things to say, at the very least. Maybe. I don't know.
Oh, so I showed Colin the Gorilla Glue video.
Yeah.
He thought it was funny.
Did it change his life?
Yeah.
Excellent. Didn't force him to, Cam. Did it himself.
Oh, hold on. I'll just let me quick. Alright, there we go.
It wasn't an oopsie moment, Ken. In fact, I would say it was the opposite of an oopsie moment. I was clarifying so that an oopsie moment was prevented.
Ah, I'm behind them now.
That poor girl. I see you're on fire. Here, let me put it out with my bullets.
Oh man, on the fire.
The drop rate in Summit is pretty awful.
Yeah.
There is not a lot of loot to be found here outside of the chests, and even those are no more, or at least feel no more rewarding than a control point chest, which you can do in a fraction of the time.
Yeah.
So that sucks. Is the mode fun? Yeah, sure. There's not a lot of an incentive right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize my drone wasn't on you. It's on its way.
Sorry. Ugh, too many enemies. I didn't hit him, apparently.
Whatever. Okay. Jeremy! I miss you. I wish you were in this stream.
Whoa, what?
Jeremy is working insane hours at a job now, so we haven't gotten to play like anything. It feels like in forever. And Can, you really over assume how much I use the flamethrower. I actually never really use the flamethrower. I'm not addicted to war crimes as Tacanic would have you believe. I have a healthy interest in war crimes. I could quit war crimes whenever I want. I just don't want to.
This is not what I want on. Where is... There we go. I need to overwrite my thing.
Holy crap! Of course. I do not know what's going on, but I am just sucking tonight. Good lord.
So remember when I got down that first time over in the Legendary?
What'd you say?
Remember when I got downed in the Legendary run? Turns out I didn't have my chest piece on that gave me back my armor when it broke. Yeah. It wasn't equipped to my loadout when I re-equipped it.
That's crazy, Jeremy. Well, I miss playing games with you. And I can hope we can play soon. Hold up.
Oh.
Yeah, we're already in combat. Move on.
Yeah, it's already. I can see like 4 drones to the left. I mean, to the right.
Okay, I think. Okay, we're out of combat. I can change now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna switch to True Sentry for now. Just for the sake of maybe finding something that I'm not garbage at. We were correct about the cases, Jeremy. There are cases every 3 floors, and they provide loot. but they're not super rewarding. The mode's fun. It really is, especially the higher floors. They're really good. But they really need to up the incentive, like loot-wise. Assault drones detected. Start hacking.
She doesn't kill them, like on Mac.
It's because Division, as a game, has a bias against the people who play it. They are never as as the things that they go up against. If my drone had gotten EMP'd, it would have gotten killed right out of the sky.
There we go. Let me go back to the area. I need to reconfigure my stuff.
Yep. I find it hilarious that that door opened and there was no human behind it. It was just 3 flying drones. Who opened the door? It's a regular door with handles.
I know, right? There's like people on the other side just, alright, send the drones in. Here's the people. Weak punches don't work on a god like me.
Yeah, I'm hoping they fix the loot, Jeremy. But overall, the update feels pretty good.
These ones are in the plant.
Memento did not get nerfed really, like, at all. When you say there's electronic locks, do you mean there's one near here? Because I knew they're around, but I didn't see any around currently. If I missed one, let me know.
Oh, come on.
The sniper warhounds, when they go down, they're the ones that EMP you.
Okay.
The others do not. They just shock if you're nearby. Later, Can. Thanks for stopping by.
Oh, there's that.
Which one?
Ongoing directive.
Nice.
There's 2 factions fighting here.
Ugh. Finally, jeez.
I think Ron's in here.
Ron's not coming back. He's the one with,
He is the universe.
Oh, I see. I thought you meant that there was like a loot room that we missed, Jeremy. Gosh. Leave it to me to save my worst gameplay for when I'm actually broadcasting my gameplay. Not to say I'm normally particularly good, but tonight I'm particularly bad. Alright, we got the shade cache. Go to the next one. I'll hold down here. Charger behind you. Crap.
That broke. Go in. EMP.
Oof.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Yeah. Next time we die, or if we somehow get up the 10 floors, I think we're done with Summit for tonight. The balancing is off. Because I'm not doing damage that I should be doing.
Yeah, and there's like no loot dropping at all.
Right. We'll just do manhunt stuff instead.
Alright.
Maybe some bounties. Awesome. Yeah, I'm just getting absolutely trashed. I mean, I quote-unquote fixed it, Jeremy, but it's not the same, and it never will be. Okay, yeah, sure. Whatever you say, game. Whatever the hell you say. So, like, am I crazy to think that when you get revived by hand, charger behind you, 2 chargers behind you.
Oh god, oh god, I'm stuck.
Yeah, screw Summit for tonight. This is. Am I crazy to think that when you get revived, that you should get armor, so that enemies can't just stop shooting the person reviving you, and then shoot you as you're getting up and just put you back down? Because I don't think I'm crazy for thinking that, because that's common sense. Massive, if you're listening, please apply common sense. You have so many things to fix. It's like this mode works fine on its own, but this game doesn't need fine. We've been playing fine for 2 years now, almost. Like, they're killing anything creative. Like my pet build. RIP. The loot feels worse now. Just overall. Like, it's not significantly worse, but it's worse. Rainbow rolls or not, the loot's worse. Don't get me started on required directives. Oof, that pisses me off. Like, I have fun with it on occasion, but Legendary is already BS enough. We don't need directives to make it just not a fun experience. This mode's supposed to be fun, right? Like, that's why we're supposed to play it. So we can actually enjoy the game. And not apply artificial difficulty just so that they don't have to actually apply effort to their content and make it challenging on its merit and not just on the things that they take away from us. Whew, didn't realize I was so heated about that. Okay, what do you want to do, Austin?
Bridge.
We can do the Brooklyn Bridge control point, or actually, let's do the waterfront control point, since we can just go to Liberty Island.
I'll go to Liberty Island.
Because it's right next to the control point.
Oh, so right, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant we can go do it and then...
Yeah, we can go to Liberty Island again because we're not pissed off enough. I'm getting something to drink, and then I'll be back at the controller. I know, like, my mood just suddenly shifted, guys, but I'm just... This game has a direct pathway into, like, my mood. Because one moment I could be having a great time. I'm playing Division 2. This is so fun. I love making the builds. I love playing the content with a team, all that jazz. And then the next moment it's like, oh yeah, there are a million problems with this game that need fixing and are never going to get fixed. Hello, Action CBH. Thank you for tuning in. You probably tuned in at the wrong, like, specific moment. I'm glad you're here. But I don't want you to get the wrong impression. Austin, we're dying. We're getting killed. Austin, help. Kalen, to put simply, hold on, let me get up first, and then I'll answer that question. But it's probably what you think it is.
Uh-oh.
Oh my god. Okay, someone please answer for me who has played Division. I need answers. When being revived by hand, did we always not get armor for being revived by hand? Because it seems like we used to, or at least we were invulnerable for a bit, or something. Because right now I feel like I'm way too exposed when I get back up. But Kalen, basically, some people, something that happens to me a lot in life is that people just decide that they don't want me around anymore, or they don't have time for me. And it was just one of those situations. So you just lose touch, and we've lost touch. As much as that sucks.
So.
This is a weird stream. This is a weird stream. Oh, this is one of my favorite control points. I appreciate it, Kayla. Oh my god.
I move up.
Probably switch to my pet build after this, so I can see it underperform too, because I'm cursed tonight, I think. Remember, Austin, that's where they're spawning from right now, so don't get flanked.
Yep.
By the way, if anyone is interested in Warlords of New York, I'm pretty sure it's $15 this weekend. Reinforcements are here.
Yep.
But I love defending this control point. It's got a really cool defend wave. Also, holy crap, what is walking towards us? Because I just saw all the exclamation points just pop up. Also, my white flag isn't proccing. As if True Patriot needed more problems. Oh my god. Go away. Oh wow, it actually put place that time.
Mario log.
Where? Where? Oh. Yeah, I deserved that one. I'm glad you enjoy these streams, Kalen. I fully acknowledge and understand that this game is not at all for everyone. And would never recommend it to everyone. But I'm glad you enjoy at least watching. Oh no. Oh, it was you. Hey Austin, you scared me.
Wow.
I saw like a shadow and I was like, oh, this is where I die.
You haven't even gone to the leader yet. That spawns.
Yeah, we probably got hit by a resource convoy. That's usually what happens anyway. Yeah, something's going on tonight because I'm pulling way more aggro again. I'm taking way more damage, as in I'm getting hurt more. And I'm not hitting as hard. Just period. Oh my god, this is heroic. This is not legendary. See, now we're at the part of the show where I just get so annoyed at how bad I am at this game and complain a lot, and I need to find myself getting out of that cycle because I know that's not fun to watch or listen to. I'm
so many elites.
It's probably an elite resource convoy or patrol or whatever. I hate this. I hate this scope. I see where you're getting hit. I'm gonna try to hit him. I'll at least mark him for you. There you go.
Finally.
And they're spawning behind us. Or behind me, rather. I should move. I am out of ammo.
Oh, I don't know what's my ammo.
Austin, legitimate question. Is anything shooting you? Because
I don't know.
I'm getting hit by everything. All of it. Kalen asks, Austin, Steven, fudge or brownies? Which could you go for right now? Honestly, I enjoy brownies. But I'm never really craving brownies. Maybe it's because like brownies were my mom's go-to. Like, hey, I'm making a dessert. Here's brownies. Maybe they're just kind of common to me. Brownies are, even though I always enjoy them. I'm just never like, you know what I want right now, brownies. So I would probably say fudge, because I do really like fudge.
Yeah.
What do you think, Austin?
Yeah, I like fudge because down the road from my school there is a fudge store. Like they like make the fudge in front of you. Like there's like a little like glass compartment where it like shows it. And man, there's like vanilla, there's chocolate, there's all types of stuff. There's all types.
I've never had non-chocolate fudge. That sounds really good.
Yeah. It's like all types of flavors. I mean, there's also
Later,
like
Jeremy.
raspberry.
Have a great rest of your night. We still haven't gotten the leader?
Okay. There we go.
Come on. Alright, we're still in combat, so I can't change builds. I got some good stuff for you, Austin. Remind me at the end of this fight. The restock's out here if you need it.
Oh, okay.
It's next to me.
There we go.
Alright. Try to hold the ground floor. I'll cover you from up here. Call out a heal if you need it.
Okay.
Coming from the left and a little bit from the right.
Oh, they're down here.
Gonna be sticking to cover as much as I can. Yep. I've got things covered up here for now at least, so worry about down there.
Okay.
Need more headshot damage on this build. Come on, pop up, pop up, pop up. Pop up. Do it! Ah, you freaking coward. I'm just gonna look over here.
An agent needs assistance.
Go get him, leader. Go get him. Come on.
Grab something from home real quick. Be right back.
Yep. What about you, Kalen? Which one could you go for right now? Have you been enjoying Modern Warfare, Kalen? I assume so. Oh, shoot. That's good. If it goes on sale for super duper cheap, I may look into it. Meet you guys where you're at rather than expecting you guys to play only what I play. That seems fair. I don't outright hate COD. I think it has value. Why am I suddenly actually dealing good damage? I feel like my numbers are just literally different now.
Immediate medical assistance needed.
Oh gosh, oh gosh. Whew. I should rotate. Cold War could be cool. That was a good stream. I enjoyed that stream. That sucks. Oh no. Oh no 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 no.
Serious trauma detected.
That doesn't often happen. Welcome back, Austin.
Alright.
I'm just glad you were able to reconnect.
What did I miss?
Me soloing everything. And my damage is suddenly better now, and I literally... It's like I just suddenly started dealing more damage. I don't even know if I went down or anything.
What did I miss?
Leaders here.
Okay. Type. What do I play? Two?
What'd you say?
I'm reading the chat and the
Modern Warfare.
Oh, yeah, I love that game. I have platinum for most of my SMGs.
Goodness.
Yeah, which I have to get gold for every single SMG. Which it's taking like hours to get.
Kalen, I don't think it's creepy at all. I think it's endearing, and I appreciate that you're so committed to us. And it helps make me feel like this kind of stuff is worth doing. So, you keep doing it, man. If that's your thing.
Much excellent. Hold on.
You haven't.
Yeah, it's charged.
It's not like you've asked for fan art of me like naked eating grapes or something. Whatever it was it Titanic that asked for that?
Whoa, what?
Or was it? No, it was Dan who asked for that. Dan asked Can to draw it. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's the line.
Huh?
I think that's the line. And you haven't crossed it, so there you go. Just don't ask for nude fan art. But for real though, since we're talking about real stuff in this stream, more or less, and not enough people are here for me to care about side railing things. It is something that I'm struggling with a lot right now. Is motivation, like why to do things, like everything just feeling pointless, kind of that apathy, or I feel there's another word that I had, but I can't think of it at the moment. But pointless, I guess, is a good way to describe it. Not to say that like everything is meaningless, but like I feel like often my stuff is pointless, just overall, kind of a pointless existence, and that sounds like super cynical. I have those feelings like sometimes on occasion, so it's hard to be motivated, and so oftentimes I do just need people who can like give me proof that not everything I do is worthless. 'Cause that's the there's it's not really a saying, but it's kind of a a something that someone said to me one time is that like the best way that you can beat those kinds of things, like the monster in your head or whatever, is by catching it in a lie. Also, Austin, I just got two really good M4s, so I'm going to drop both of them for you.
All right.
But the way you can beat that kind of stuff is catching it in a lie. So if I am able to see proof that stuff I do matters, that people actually care about it, then that's like I'm able to look at that and be like, oh, that's part of me that's like, hey, everything you do is a waste of time. There's no reason, all that kind of stuff. I'm able to say you're wrong. Um, all that stuff. I don't know if that made any sense. I was just kind of rambling. There's a hardwired mask. But all that to be said, Kalen, but people like you and Austin that are around for everything, that loyalty is the wrong word because that makes it sound like you have to make a choice between us and someone else, which is not what but commitment to showing up when you can, engaging when you can, showing us that the stuff that we put work into is appreciated and it is received with, like, you guys are excited when we do things. You show that you actually want to be here. That's very helpful for me in the day to day. James, how do you always show up? James says, you're not worthless, but your builds are absolutely worthless shite. You know what, James? Tonight you're not wrong. You're not wrong tonight. I'm doing pretty awful with my builds. But actually, that reminds me, I do need to switch to my pet build. Man, I had such a good build going, and then they broke it because these YouTube content creating a-holes, which I know I just in a way described myself, but just bear with me. They were like, hey, let's abuse the future initiative thing to where it's not really abusing it, it's just making it to where certain parts in the raid are really easy. And so they were like, no, we can't have that. So instead of finding a happy medium, they were just like, screw future initiative. It's now worse. Meanwhile, Eclipse Protocol and Foundry Bulwark are over there literally breaking aspects of the game. And they're like, nah, this is fine.
Just vibing.
Well, James, if you've got Division 2 installed, you can join us right now if you'd like to. They added a new tower climb mode called Summit that is fun, except for when it's being an a-hole, which we were playing on Heroic, so it was being a bit of an a-hole. But it is good. And regardless, I agree, James. Let me know whenever you feel like playing something and what you feel like playing. I'm always down. I'm usually around because I work from home for the most part now. So it's just me and the dogs and whoever happens to be on PlayStation and wants to play something at the time. So if you ever see me on, just hit me up. Let me know what you feel like playing. Okay.
Yeah. Kellen, to add on to your loadout that you said with the smoke stuff, are you using Merc thermal optic or just thermal optic?
Roosevelt Island's the daily. How about that? Kaylin asks, speaking of heroics and a-holes, great transition. Kaylin says thermal optic question mark, by the way. But great segue into a question, Kaylin. I love the show The Boys. It is hard to watch at some parts, but it is a very well done show. Even though it can be super dark and super uncomfortable at times, the performances from all of the actors are just fantastic. The guy who plays Homelander is legit terrifying, and I love him. Carl Urban is always a win. Everyone just does such a great job. The tone of the world is fantastic because it really does feel like superheroes in our world and how it's much more realistic to the approach, um, to where everything's very corporate, everything is owned. Superheroes are a product, and they do a really good job of conveying that. The humor is great usually. There's one character you see a video of his life. His name's Translucent. He can turn invisible. That's his ability. And they were showing the recap of his life, and in all of the clips, he was invisible. So there was one clip where it was like his bar mitzvah, and he was doing his reading, and he was there with the yarmulke on his head and everything, but he was invisible, so it was just a floating hat. It's so dumb, but it was really funny.
Oh, crap. I have the wrong thing on.
Oh, James, I play Monster Hunter World. I don't play it right now, but I'm relatively... I don't know if I can say deep into Iceborne, but I'm either on or just defeated the final boss in Iceborne, so yeah, I'm totally down for some Monster Hunter. Also, Austin, your mic's doing this weird thing to where I'm hearing myself echo.
Oh, that's fine. Hold on, see if I can fix that. Try talking now?
Hey, it's me. I can still hear it. There's a medic.
Let me party real quick.
What's the news, Kalen? That is a named guy right there.
Alright, it's fixed?
Yeah, I think so. I can't hear it.
Alright. Sweet.
Can I? It's not noticeable, but like, now it's noticeable.
Damn. Alright, hold on.
If you guys needed any more proof that the aggro in this game is just shenanigans weighed towards me, Austin's literally standing still and he's fine. Nothing is shooting at him. Yeah, I heard about that, Kalen. That's a great get. Monster Hunter World is a fantastic game. It's like, I can't hear it, so I think we're good.
Okay.
But Monster Hunter World is like Division and Destiny and all that stuff, to where it's not for everyone. Like, it very much is a game that contains a grind, and some amount of repetition, but they handle the hunts so well to where it's so satisfying. I can kind of hear it again. It's super weird.
Oh. Well, yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, James. It's a big game. It's a very big game.
Second one.
And like, Iceborne feels like an entirely, like, it feels like a true expansion, almost to the point of being a sequel. Oh, hey Minnie, what's up, girl? My little dog is over here. She just got spayed this week, and she's got the cone of shame on right now, and she hates it. She hates having to wear this stupid cone. What's your favorite weapon, James? I've developed a recent, well, by recent I mean the last time we're time to get there. I'm gonna run. The last time I played, I was really into this insect glaive. I love that thing.
You're doing it again?
Can't hear it right now.
Okay.
Portable device detected.
Going back on your setup, Killen, I think I can't tell if you're asking about the difference, but Merc thermal optic is basically another thermal optic, but you can see through all smoke you throw down or enemy smoke. So if someone's using like cold-blooded, you can still see them through the smoke. So it should help.
Thank you for that explanation. Okay. Yeah, Sword and Shield is great, James. Especially for just a good balance. Um, yeah, it is. If it's what I'm thinking of, James. Yeah, Sword and Shield, I really enjoy. I made a medic build. Well, I was inspired to make it, so I didn't come up with it on my own. But with Sword and Shield, that basically uses Mushroomancer, I think is what it's called, which makes it to where whenever you consume an item, everyone nearby also gets to consume the item. So basically, making an item healer that uses Sword and Shield, because Sword and Shield doesn't have to put their weapon away to use items. Um, so there is still an aspect of that, like character building. But the problem with it is that it's harder, or at least it seems, and maybe that's because I'm not all the way into Iceborne yet, but it seems harder to yeah, no kidding, James. I make it work no matter what. I always find a way. Um, but with Iceborne, sorry, just Monster Hunter World in general, it's harder to get to the cap, or I guess it's slower to get to the point to where you are making those builds, like getting the specific talents and whatnot in place. I've never gotten to that point, and I feel like I've played the game a crap load. Kaylin asks, "Would you recommend cold-blooded as one of my perks? I plan on laying down if I plan on laying down smoke."
I don't. I'd have to see, depending on what gun you're using with it, and like lethal and everything else. What's your what's your current blue perk? I think that's what Cold Blood is in.
Oh, it's fun co-op, James. I may have to build a low tier armor set so I can help you play through it. But the nice thing about, I mean, regarding what I said about it taking a long time to be making builds or whatever, the nice thing about that, for Monster Hunter at least, is that I feel like the weapons are so engaging on their own, to where, unlike a game like this, which, well, I guess this game didn't suffer from it too much, because the early game didn't have as much of a bullet sponge kind of feel. Oh crap, you're getting hit hard. But in Monster Hunter, the weapons are interesting enough and dynamic enough to where you don't really need the builds, but you have them. It's kind of like Avengers in that sense, to where, to me, the loot isn't the draw, it's the characters themselves, so you don't need the loot to have fun. I think there were a few on there, Kalen, that I could do a trade-in or something for. Although, I'll need to be very quick about it, because Lord knows. Trade-in prices at GameStop, if I remember my training correctly, are largely based on supply and demand. Or, I guess, mainly supply. The more they have in stock of an item, the cheaper it is to trade in.
Wait, you worked at GameStop, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Can I ask why? Can I ask if it's true that you only get like barely any money if you hand in like a console and a bunch of games?
That's not true.
Okay.
It's a meme at this point. There are some games that you trade them in, and you will straight up get told, like, "Hi, I will give you nothing for this." But that is because a game like Watch Dogs, for example, and the way it happened with Watch Dogs, is people expected Grand Theft Auto. People did not get Grand Theft Auto. People returned Watch Dogs. GameStop had a crap ton of pre-owned Watch Dogs in their stock. So when people kept coming to trade it in, GameStop would tell you, "I will give you literally $2 for this game, if that." You probably wouldn't even get that much right now. Actually, you definitely wouldn't get that much right now. That was because everyone was trading in Watch Dogs. So they just didn't need any more of them.
Okay.
You won't often get a lot, but you get 20% more for store credit, I believe. which means if you're going to try to get cash, it will feel like you get gypped. But the whole point of trading it at GameStop, it's meant to be a place where you swap, not where you sell, if that makes sense. Like, that's the better way to work the system at GameStop. Like, I have these games that I never play anymore, or I have this system. Like, I am getting a PS5, but I have this PS4 and I have nowhere for it to go. Can you revive me, by the way, when you kill that guy? So in that sense, the whole point of it is to take it to GameStop and be like, hey, I would love to trade this system in for a PS5. And they'll be like, cool. Hey, guess what? We have a promotion going on to where if you trade in any console towards PS5, you get plus $100 trade credit or something like that. So it's not a place that you go to at any time to just be like, I have this game to sell, so I am definitely going to go to GameStop. It's very much a system that you need to learn how to work, how to use.
Okay.
Yeah, James knows what I'm talking about. Trade-in deals are great. Because certain days, and I haven't gone to GameStop in a while because of COVID, and I know they changed the pro membership and everything. But certain days out of the year, you can go in and get like double trade value towards certain things or whatever. So that's again just the misconception of GameStop is that people expect I paid $40 for this game, so I'm gonna get $20 back for it. No, that's not what's gonna happen.
I understand that.
Yep. Would all of you agree with that statement? Was that heretical of me to say? Kalen said for his loadout, EOD, Ghost, and Shrapnel. EOD and Shrapnel because I use Claymores and Proximity Mines as my lethals.
I think EOD's pretty good for it because a lot of people will just throw things through the smoke to see if they can get kills or like back people up. So I think EOD is pretty fine, especially when you're laying down. Because if a bouncing Betty gets thrown down, if you're laying down, you take less damage. So that's even less damage.
Sure wish my drone would come do its job. There it is. Hey, drone. Yeah, James, they're talking Modern Warfare.
Yeah. Next season, apparently we're getting the AA-12 back.
Whoa, whoa! I just got shredded.
I'll have to make it to you.
Yep. Why is
My
that,
shit's going
James?
up, not down.
James said it's one of his least favorite CODs in recent memory.
Oh, really? Hmm. Cold War Alpha did look really good.
That's your target.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would make sense.
So in the Cold War Alpha, they brought back tomahawks and score
Ballistic
streaks
knives?
instead of kill streaks.
Oh.
I don't know if they brought back bullet knives, but they did bring back the tomahawk throwing one.
Why did they go back to kill streaks when they went to score streaks? This shows you how out of touch I am with Call of Duty. Because last I played it was score streaks, and that made sense.
Yep. I'm already beside them, by the way.
Fantastic.
Oh dang! Wait.
All right, hold on. The
Okay.
Bleach is their name. Okay. Okay, you'll know the signal when you see it, Austin.
Okay. Okay. Burn! Oh man, I don't know. Pop.
They're healing.
Oh man. Stupid. Legit almost had him dead, and I'm stupid. I'm gonna make soup, buddy. Where will the other enemies go?
That would make sense, James. They're to the left. I'm keeping them busy. And by that I mean they're keeping me suppressed.
Okay. Alright, Bleach's dead.
Good.
For me, she got garbage.
Cleaning up the streets one bad guy at a time. Nicely done, Sheriff.
Sweet.
Nice, James getting Cold War. I wish I could, but I don't even have $5.
I don't even have $5. I much more prefer Treyarch to Infinity Ward.
Yes.
James, I agree with that.
I would love to see a Black Ops 2 remastered.
Yeah. I didn't play I don't think I played Black Ops 2. I played Black Ops 3, and I actually, surprisingly, really, really liked Black Ops 3.
I like the campaign for it.
Yeah, that's what I loved about it, and I loved how it was co-op, and I loved how you could kit yourself.
Yeah.
Like, I ran that entire campaign hacking everything I possibly could. I would wave my hand and hack a swarm of drones, and just be like, do my bidding. That was so fun.
I really love the ending.
It was a weird ending.
Oh, really?
I
You mean
liked
like
it.
by how you had to go through the areas?
I just meant like the story ending.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember the actual missions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Let me see if I've gotten anything else in the season. I'm about to unlock the mop. In fact,
Nice.
Austin, come here.
Huh? Oh, I'm already fast traveling. I'm fast travel already. To a safe
Okay,
house.
fine. Screw you. You don't need a good shotgun anyway.
What?
Did I melt you with that comment?
I feel hurt.
Black Tusk are paranoid. Can't really blame him.
Was that turret shooting itself? Because it sure looked like it was. I don't even know where you fast traveled to, Austin.
Well, I traveled to the safe house on the other side.
Okay. Well, I'm running.
Detected. Nearby location guarded by hostiles.
Yeah, well.
I don't disagree, James.
Suspicious.
As in, I don't disagree that that's what they're made for, but I just don't do multiplayer. For any game, really. It takes a very special PvP experience for me to actually partake in it. Like the Dark Zone. I'm just kidding, the Dark Zone's awful.
Sure.
Oh, you're attacking them from that side, so I'll attack them from this side. We'll get a nice little pincer attack going.
Armor. They've already broken my armor. Almost twice.
Well, I'm flanking them, so now you've got possibly a window to push in. I don't know. Ow, ow, fire. It's hot, it burns.
Serious trauma detected.
You know, I've heard great things about The Last of Us PvP. I think you're actually one of... Oh my god. Oh good, the leader's here, and they're on fire. The last multiplayer, like the last PvP experience I truly enjoyed was Titanfall 2.
Oh, yes.
I loved Titanfall 2. I was the best tone pilot you'd ever see.
I love Titanfall 2. I wasn't really good at it, but I loved it. So.
There was a time when I was pretty good at it, then I didn't play it for a week, and then I came back and everyone was suddenly Neo from the Matrix, and I didn't want to play it anymore.
I don't want to play anymore.
Cause with that game, I didn't enjoy it so much because I was pretty good at it, but I definitely stopped enjoying it when everyone just became so much better, because it's one of those games that when you get played circles around you, it's not fun.
Yeah.
I think Titanfall 2 still has somewhat of a player base, honestly, because it has the advantage of being fairly unique. Although a lot of its people may have gone to Apex, but I mean Apex doesn't have Titans, so
no. Careful, they gotta be listening.
They know that people want Titans.
I know Fortnite copied Titanfall 2 by bringing Titans in.
Are you accusing Fortnite of copying games?
Why, yes.
Wow, that's That's a hot take, Austin. I don't think anyone has ever heard of Fortnite copying somebody.
I know, right? Like,
It's
their
not like
respawn fans were totally original.
it's not like the entire basis of Fortnite in its current state is a complete ripoff of things that already existed, and that the game was supposed to be a survival co-op building game that because they have not a backbone in their body, they decided this makes more money, and so now Fortnite is cancer.
Steven, I think if Fortnite was a Pokemon, I think it'd be a Ditto.
If Fortnite was a Pokemon, it would be the Pokemon that's just a scoop of ice cream. Because it never changes. Because even when it evolves twice, by the way. Even when it evolves, it's just another scoop of ice cream.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. This exists. It goes up to triple scoop. And you're just like, oh, cool. My scoop Pokemon is evolving. Oh, it's just another scoop of ice cream.
Yay!
Okay. Ha! James admitted that he's played Fortnite. What a loser. Got him.
I mean,
I did it for charity. It doesn't count.
I was talking about you. I technically played before.
Is the Ghost of Tsushima multiplayer going to be out by then, Kaylin? Do we know? I hadn't heard a release date. Yeah, I'm super excited for it.
By the way, I hate to inform you, but I may or may not have spent money on it before. Like, a while ago, I spent money on Fortnite when it was actually good, when it wasn't copying things.
Fortnite was never good. Silence. Continue. You spent money on it? Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, I think I bought, like, which one did I buy? I know I bought the Christmas one when the skins are actually pretty cool. I don't know which one. It had planes. I don't care enough to know the actual season one, but if I had to guess, I think it was 7. I don't know, somewhere near there.
Other side, I think, maybe. Yep.
Okay. Yep. I'm going. I still only have 20 ammo.
I think there's a restart.
For my... Oh no, 20 ammo for my flamethrower. I want more. There we go.
It will not be on my PS5, Kaylin. You know, I have the Epic Games launcher literally just because a game that I kickstarted like a month before release was like, hey, we're not doing Steam at launch anymore, we're doing Epic Games, so you have to have that. And so I reluctantly downloaded it. And the Epic Games launcher has Fortnite in your library, whether you want it there or not. It's just there.
What? For the PlayStation one or
for the PC.
The Epic Games one? Oh, okay.
And so I have to look at Fortnite if I want to play that other game. It's just there. And it's like, okay, why are you here? Why can't I remove you from my account? Why isn't there a remove from my account button?
You removed from the PS4.
Why do you exist? Yeah, I know, I did that. I literally deleted all of my Fortnite account progress. And I do every single time I'm forced to play it for whatever reason. Because I want nothing to do with that game.
For the kids. Hashtag for the kids. Alright, where's Looter?
Yeah, I'm definitely getting a PS5, James. Sorry, I'm a little behind on chat. I got my pre-order in at Target, of all places. But I should be good. Rogue agent detected. What?
What? What'd you say? That is a big boy. Brawn.
Where's Brain?
Brawn.
Where's Brain, though?
Oh, where is he? I just want to know where the rogue agent is. Where we get?
Probably Brain. He hiding.
Uh-oh.
Typical
in a
Brain.
big suit of armor. Oh. Brain will shed his brawn armor. But he will never be any match for Ron. You know, in Iceland there is a temple of the chicken nugget.
What?
In Iceland, you can go to maps. Yeah, it's an actual thing.
Have you looked up anything for Outriders, James? It's the game I'm probably most excited for next gen.
Welcome to the
Just because I feel like I'm going to play it so much.
Pulling shield makes vulnerable for 5 seconds.
Look, James, it's really hard to be good at sniping when you have no choice but to use the basic ACOG scope. For whatever reason, Bighorn, even though it very clearly has a rifle scope on the top, it gets an ACOG scope that is awful.
Supply room access unlocked.
I hate it. It'll take some getting used to, Kalen. But I think especially for people like me who play a ton of games like this that have really long loading screens, I think it'll be very appreciated. Although, I think the adjustment's going to come in the fact to where we can't get a bunch of stuff done during loading screens, because like, I work during my loading screens. Like, I've got my computer in front of me, and I get stuff done. I write papers. I'm productive during my load screen time. Now, I don't have that time anymore. It's just gone.
I know. Like, what is it? We have to sit there, wait, like just like 1 second, and bam, you're in the game.
It's crazy. I don't know. Now that I'm talking about it, I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. I need my loading screens to get work done.
For Destiny 2, whenever I used to play it, I used to press start so that it goes to the loading screen.
Where
go
is
downstairs.
The supply room?
I'm in it.
How did you get in it?
Steven. It's like right behind where you were the entire time. Up here.
Okay, that's instructions instead of you was there. I moved a lot, Austin.
Whatever. Steven.
James, I cure cancer during my loading screens. Right, exactly. James gets it. Alright, I'm gonna drop this stuff for you. Here is the mop. It is the new shotgun.
Sweet.
Also, here's a Hunter's Fury chest piece. Just so you have it. You're gonna get one of your own, but take that one too. Because I'm probably gonna run Hunter's Fury. that. One of those. And sure. We'll say that's it.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the Haven, spend a bunch of stuff. Recalibrate stuff. I'm gonna upgrade my armor.
Cool. You do that. I'm headed to the next control point.
Okay. And whenever I'm playing a game with a loading screen like this, or Division 2, I go downstairs, make a sandwich, grab a drink, fill my water bottle up, come backstairs, still loading, I scroll through my phone, and done. Loaded in.
Yeah, I won't know what's going on social media now that my games don't let me unplug from the game. James, they've changed a good bit. But you played Warlords, so it shouldn't look too different. There's a lot of new stuff, though. That's the main difference.
Friendly control point detected.
But essentially, same stuff. The builds still work the same. It goes off the budget system, the core budget system.
Where's my recalibration station? There it is. Damaged armor.
That's, gosh, yeah, that sounds about right, James. That's crazy. Are you just over it? I can't remember if you ever told me why you stopped playing. Which I completely understand. Probably any reason you could give me why to stop playing this game. I just happen to be addicted to making builds. Ooh, territory control. Since I suck at sniping so much. Look at that, I sniped him.
Nice.
I got you, James. Well, there's a lot of new stuff. Legendary missions are pretty fun. I don't think we ever got to play one of those with you. Well, I say that. They're not fun, but they're there. Summit is pretty cool. It has potential. There's a new raid. I've beaten it once because I pugged with a group that made it look easy. I mean, it's fun.
I can't wait to do a raid in this.
I hope we can do one with you, but because we have a really hard time actually getting enough people to do raids. Because like I said, the only one I've actually succeeded, I was the only person in that crew that was actually like, from, you know, our crew. Yeah, the ending of Warlords sucked, and they haven't really done much story-wise. Although I do have a theory. My theory is basically that the game is, well, the game has been leading towards BTSU winning this whole time and leading us into a Division 3 that would take place in a bit of a time skip, like maybe a few years after they've kind of dug in a little bit, or whoever is behind Black Tusk has dug in, and they've recreated society to some extent. And my justification for that is the hunters is where it all starts. I think that the hunters have been BTSU all along. Because if you think of the division, like, you know, as being deployed in waves, the first wave, you know, all went to hell, and then the second wave activated for second wave. But if we think about Black Tusk the same way, the first wave of Black Tusk was the hunters, and they were deployed with all deniability to where they were left with no outside contact, no trace, so that when they were killed, they just looked to be acting on their own behalf. But the whole time they were actually monitoring the division agents, waiting to report the time to strike, also getting familiar with shade tech, all that stuff, so that the division could be more effectively combated at the time that, you know, that would be necessary. Which would explain why in Division 1 the hunters were more aggressive, because they were actively thinning the herd, taking out the ones that were weak, while also using their tech, getting familiarized with it, basically free training. Then in Division 2, the hunters play more of a passive role, right? Like, they don't kill us when they have the opportunity to, they're just kind of watching us, all that stuff. We have to make the first move on them. And my thought is, because our agent is the one that is showing the most progress towards finishing Phase 1 for Black Tusk, which is taking DC and digging in roots there. The division was supposed to do the dirty work. Black Tusk comes in, they take it. I completely agree, James. 100%. But so it's my thought that this whole time the division, even like in its inception, like the way it was designed, we are led to believe the division was meant to save what remains. But I think that the division and Black Tusk were made at the same time, or roughly around the same time, or someone made Black Tusk that was fully aware of the division before everything happened, and it was planned for the division to be the patsy for the whole situation, take the fall. And the fall that we're going to take, and I've talked about this a lot in the past, but I think the fall we're going to take is that Fei Lao is going to kill the president. And I think the division's going to be blamed for that, and so the death of literally the one person on the planet that the division answers to is going to be pinned on the division. Public eye is going to turn on them, and in Black Tusk's favor, which ultimately results in, I mean, when the people are unanimously against us, then we've lost, mission over. And so the division loses. We're defeated, and we go underground, fully knowing that Black Tusk is corrupt, and it becomes more of a resistance force, because, you know, resistance is the most corporate word ever now, which is ironic. And Division 3 is going to take place maybe in the year 2022, 2025, something, I don't know. And it's going to be about us getting a watch and rising up against Black Tusk, trying to save society. It's very by the numbers as a sequel is concerned. I'm about to start this control point, by the way. Austin, whenever you're ready. But in my opinion, it's the only way that they can salvage the story at this point and make everything make sense. Because right now it feels like nothing's making sense.
An agent has disconnected.
Oh, Austin? I bet his Wi-Fi dropped again. Yep. Welcome back.
It cracked.
Stop scaring me.
Sorry.
I don't know, James. That's kind of a question I've been asking myself. what do you think would be a fitting city for that premise? Because I don't know well, I don't know any cities that well, really. I don't think it would be New York. Though I do think it's possible that maybe they reuse the assets and we get multiple cities. That would be great, honestly, is if we got New York and DC and another city. Even if, like, the maps were more akin to the size of the map, of the New York map in this game, I wouldn't mind, honestly. Boston is a place that I had considered, because that would make sense because, you know, revolution happening in Boston. It's fitting. But I don't know. And, like, I have literally nothing to go on. That's all a theory. That's all just me, like, tossing around in my head, like, trying to answer the question, like, how does everything make sense? The more realistic answer is that they don't know what they're doing because the person that actually cared about the story and set all these things up for them isn't involved with the game anymore, and they've just been kind of going day by day. That's probably the more realistic answer, but I'm hopeful that maybe they've got a big picture, and that, and if they did, all of this is the only way that I see this making sense, because a part of this in my vision would mean that Isaac the whole time has been a corrupt network. Isaac's been working kind of against us the whole time, which is why the rogues developed Anna, the rogue agent network. And so in Division 3, we don't have Isaac anymore, we have Anna. And so the rogues kind of end up becoming the beginning of a resistance cell, like a resistance force, which means that what Keener did, like his legacy and everything, ended up meaning something after all, whether he meant it to or not.
Oh.
Austin?
I'm here.
You're just standing there.
Alright, okay. That's shotgun, not...
Let's see, I'm partially worried. Yeah, like, the rogues are good guys, but that they didn't start that way. But they did become really the only hope for fighting back. Because this whole time we've been hearing the division failed, and it's like, yeah, you've got a point, but what are we going to do about that point? Because I really kind of want them to do something. I don't want them to be like, the rogues have been the good guys the whole time. I want them to be like, the rogues have been right this whole time. Isaac has been compromised. You guys have been getting played. That's what I want the rogues to be for. They're not good people. They're very much out for themselves, but I want some rogues to kind of have a point, you know? Keener became a Bond villain, so his moment to kind of have a revelation and be like, hey, this is the big secret, this is what has actually been happening, that moment's kind of gone now. But if they utilize his network in the rogue network in that sense, to where he did set it up to maybe be used as a countermeasure, that could be cool. That would make it mean something. see that heel snipe? But yeah, that's just what I would do personally. And I mean, from a gameplay standpoint, it makes too much sense to take the game into a post Green Poison world, to where the Division is not a thing, because it gives us room to grow in power, to where we have to actually scrounge together for our gear. Crafting suddenly becomes really important, making skills. The progression works. It makes sense to have a reset. The question of where did our agent go? You can get an answer. You aren't your agent anymore. Whereas with this game, McCoy didn't even know that we weren't the same agent from Division 1. And I was like, no, we totally aren't. that's confirmed. So they did a bad job of explaining, like, why are we resetting this game? Because a lot of people didn't even understand that we're a different character entirely. Leader's coming for you.
Yeah.
But it just fits. It really fits. And I've always kind of gotten the impression, especially in a post-COVID world, that the Green Poison was not meant to be the whole story. It was meant to be Chapter 1. Like, the thing that kicked off the reshaping of the world. The fall of society and the reinvention of society. So to me, Green Poison was never going to be, it wasn't always going to be around. It didn't make sense to me for that to be the case, because it's become less and less of a plot point the longer this game's gone on, and I don't think they're going to want to utilize it moving forward. Right, it was the thing to activate Directive 51. It wasn't the reason to keep them around. It was the match that started the fire. And so to me, it's a lot more interesting to focus less on the Green Poison, which has done its damage, and more on the consequences of said damage. And it's really interesting when you make us lose, like us being the good guys, especially when this game, like this series, is just notoriously bad at sticking the landing with its villains. Because Keener's just like, all this build up, and then he's just like, I've got a missile with a poison, and there's nothing you can do about it. And even though there should have been nothing we can do about it, because Keener this whole time has been this guy who has been 12 steps ahead of literally every living being on the planet, suddenly he is outdone by us like the snap of a finger. That didn't make any sense. Like, this game doesn't know how to properly utilize its villains to its fullest. Like, once we start pursuing a villain, they're done. They're gone. Which, funny enough, the villain they did the best at when it comes to, like, sticking the landing with, in my opinion, was Emmeline Shaw. Because her story felt done. It felt wrapped up. The fact that we went after her twice, I liked a lot. I didn't mean to take this as salvage. Where are you? Crap, where'd it go? There it is. So to me, that's kind of the only way that Division up to this point makes sense as a story moving forward. And I hate that, and if we do get a Division 3, I really hope Massive has nothing to do with it. Or they just get a different team, somebody that actually has a vision for the game, because right now there's no vision. That's the problem. They are simply updating it with cool new gear and mechanics and stuff. But the fact that Summit has literally no story purpose, we are given, as far as I can tell, I have found no context as to why there is this 100-story skyscraper that we are going into, why all of the factions are going to it. And there's nothing. There's just Kelso saying, hey, you're doing pretty good in this building. This is a checkpoint room. It's like she knows she's a video game character. So they didn't even try to make a story there, when that's such an easy thing to make a story for. Make it a 100-story Riker party house. Or hyenas. Like, there's plenty of stuff you could do with that. It's not hard. They just don't care. And so to me, the only way they make the story make sense moving forward is if they forget the past. And they just build from it as a foundation. Use everything that we've gotten leading up to this point to create the consequence, the reason for the new world that we're in Division 3, and tell a new story in Division 3. Because they need to tell a story that they actually want to tell, rather than just trying to make the story that they were given work when they clearly had no vision for it. Make vision for something new, but implement, like, make it have a starting point that is a fresh start, so that it doesn't feel like we're constantly just dealing with the same thing, or backtracking, or reliving history, if that makes sense. Sorry, you guys should have known that once I started talking Division story that I would talk for way too long.
I'm probably gonna go after this.
You have to go after this, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably gonna have to.
Me too, James. I hate that no one else was able to show up to actually do Summit with us, because a couple other people were maybes, and both of them ended up not being able to. So we were going to do more Summit today, but it pissed me off, and we just weren't really getting any success doing two-man, and I don't know, I feel like the build was messed up when we were in there, because everything was taking way more damage. Everything was harder to kill. Way harder to kill than it should have been.
Yeah. And there wasn't even, like, any loot either.
Right.
I got, like, 2 things, and that's it.
Yeah, I think I got maybe 1.
And the highest I probably got was that probably gear set piece.
I don't know why I'm doing so bad at this game tonight.
Okay, I guess I'll get you.
I need to revisit this build that I'm using. It's not good yet, but I can make it good. I just need to figure it out. This game will not have a PS5 version, but it will be backwards compatible on PS5. That is their plan. Which just further makes me believe that they are making a Division 3. They are going to be sunsetting this game next year, probably. I'd be surprised. Probably just because they're probably going to be announcing a Division 3 summer of next year. Like, not that it will be releasing summer of next year, but that it'll probably be a 2022 release, if I had to guess. Just because the fact that they didn't make a PS5 version, I mean, think about it. Rainbow Six Siege is getting a next-gen version. Destiny 2, getting a next-gen version. Pretty much any game that has significant plans for 2021 is getting a next-gen version. Division 2 is getting backwards compatibility. So, to me, it's like they have to be making Division 3. And James, we did get more content for Division 1. That's the thing. Like, this game, in my opinion, had a better loot game. Like, I feel like making builds is more interesting in this game. But Division 1's content, within a year, just absolutely runs circles around this game. And it almost feels like this game had a really bad endgame launch. Like, they were really banking on, like, no mini, no. Oh, gosh, mini's going rogue. But they were really banking on the World Tier 5 stuff. You know, and Tidal Base and all that jazz. They were really banking on it as the future of the division. And when it just absolutely flopped, they have not recovered since. They've been trying to figure out what they want this game to be. And they just can't win, honestly. They can't decide, like, they just can't decide. And that's the biggest issue, is that this game has a lot of potential, but it can't make up its mind on what it wants to be or what it wants to do. It's always in maintenance mode, always having to do, like, well, this is broken, so we have to fix this, we have to make this change to fix that. Way more than any other game. The fact that there have been several fixes listed in the patch notes, the past, like, 4 or 5 sets of patch notes, there have been like 4 or 5 fixes that have been in there all of those times. That, like, they've said, no, we fixed it, we mean it this time, but it's never fixed. Yeah, I will never understand, James. I will never understand why they refused to bring Survival back, why it took them so long to make Summit, and why they just didn't make some type of version of the Division 1 DLC modes. Because those were the best part of Division 1. That's Minnie scratching her neck. She's trying to scratch her neck, but she's getting coned. She isn't able to get her neck. Like, that was just such a dumb move on their part. And I think a lot of it just had to do with, again, they thought that they were good. They thought they were fine with Division 2's content. They thought World Tier 5 was going to be great. They thought everybody would love the invasion system. They thought everybody would love the raid and be playing it for a very long time. And then everyone hated it, for the most part. It got a bad rep. And whereas with Division 1, they actively, like, added onto the game while fixing it, with this game, it was just like, we don't know what to do. We need to completely redesign this game.
I knew we could do it.
What'd you get?
I got it.
Got what?
Got 0F.
Wow! Oh, this is Badger Tough. Oh, that's lucky. We've been in Badger Tough targeted. I mean, I meant to do it. That's why I brought you here, my son.
Yes.
Yeah, those were the best parts. Like, that was the best content to play end game in Division 1. And they just didn't bring it for no reason. It's amazing, really. It really feels like they just didn't try. I don't know if it was a pride thing to where somebody on the team, like Hamish, was like, look, we're not doing any content from the first game. We're not doing any content anywhere near the first game. This is Division 2, not Division 1. I don't know who made that call. But it really feels like their arrogance is what prevented them from actually bringing D1 content to D2. And it very much needed it, and it didn't get it. I like it when you come around, James. You bring the chatty side out of me. I would agree with that, James. I think that they need to make the Dark Zone, for example. The Dark Zone, yes, I agree with that too. The movement's pretty rough. But the Dark Zone, absolutely 100%. Do not even try to convince me otherwise, because you never will. The Dark Zone needs to be completely separate from everything else, and it needs to be made to where it is a a predetermined loadout system rather than you get to make builds, because that would make it a skill-based experience, not a I watched this guy on YouTube make this build experience. Because everyone finds the meta, everyone runs the meta, and it stops being an experience to where you think you actually stand a chance in a situation if you outplay somebody, and it's, oh, they're holding Lady Death, so I lose. That's not interesting. That's not fun. Go do that in PvP, sure. Go do that in Conflict, but that's not Dark Zone. And, heck, no, don't do that in Conflict. Here's why. Because making builds in PvP is ruining the meta in PvE. Because no one actually enjoys the Dark Zone. No one actually enjoys going into PvP, and the ones that do are the ones that grief. And I don't care what they enjoy. They should go away. I figured you might. But it's what the game... There's a lot of stuff up here, Austin, that you need to pick up. It's what the game needs. Because they are having to spend way too much time on balancing. And the PvE suffers every time when they make a balanced decision because of a Dark Zone change. And they've gotten better lately. Here's another thing that I'm dropping for you.
All right.
There's another thing... sorry. They've gotten better about balancing separately, but it still trickles into one another, and that's a problem. Yeah, it makes more sense for Conflict to be the balanced experience with the rules. But the reason I say that about Dark Zone is because if they're going to continue to make Dark Zone a required experience in a lot of ways, they need to make it an experience that can actually be played. I'm not saying it needs to be an experience that you win at every time, but it needs to be an experience that you can affect outside of just doing the meta every time. Because there are people that have a straight up easy button that can make it to where they pretty much just go in and laugh. I'm going to take us to DC real quick. And then,
all right.
Yeah. But to me, like, you could explain it from a in-universe explanation, kind of the same way Survival did, to where you went in a hazmat suit, so like the gear that you brought in was kitted to handle the contamination. Likewise with the Dark Zone, that they could make is that you don't want to contaminate your gear, and I know that's kind of silly, but at the same time, like, make it to where you go in with predetermined gear so that... Well, hold on. Sorry, I got distracted. Basically, do some kind of contamination explanation to make it to where everyone goes in on an equal playing field. Because that, to me, makes it more interesting in its lawlessness than making it just a place where anyone can do anything. Because then suddenly, that player that you've been helping can put a gun to the back of your head and kill you, even if you're 1,000 shade rank higher than they are. Yeah. Yeah, I could see that, James. It's just... The Dark Zone is a cool concept in its current state, but the fact is, it doesn't work. Because a saying that I say, Austin, I feel like I've been neglecting you. I apologize.
Well, I've been sidetracked with other stuff.
Yeah. The saying that I say is that it only takes one turd in the punch bowl to ruin the party for everybody. That's the Dark Zone. It only takes one person finding a way to break the game and then uploading it to YouTube to get those good likes to basically break the experience for everybody, because one person starts running Intimidate, Adrenaline Rush, and Lady Death, and they realize, oh wow, this is totally broken, and then everyone starts running it, and then suddenly you have snipers in the Dark Zone who are nothing compared to this guy who has an SMG and is dinging you in the foot and killing you every time. The Dark Zone needs to be not lawless. It needs to be what's the word I'm looking for?
Thanks for your business.
It needs to be an even playing field. Like, it needs to be unbiased. Oh, absolutely. And to me, adding that whole sense of like if I bring an assault rifle in, I like basically make it to where you can't build for the Dark Zone. You can't make it to where your red cores are so high or your blue cores are so high. You can't do that. You so that the fear of the Dark Zone comes in the fact to where one person with a well-placed bullet that you may not even see, they could end you. Rather than seeing someone walk up with their build, like, to me, it's not a fear thing when I know I'm going to die. Because in the Dark Zone right now, you know exactly when you're going to die. But if you take away the, if you strip the armor off of the man who goes in wearing too much of it, in a metaphorical sense, then suddenly even the smallest of opponents could be his last one, you know? But I would love to talk about this more at a later time. But I think that's where we're going to end the stream, because Austin, you got to go, right?
Yeah.
And quite frankly, my mouth is getting dry, and because I talk too much. But James, I really appreciate you coming to hang out. If you ever want to play anything, please let me know. Message me on PlayStation anytime. Be it Division, Monster Hunter, Avengers, if you have it. Whatever. Just let me know. I would love to play it. To everyone else who watched, thanks for tuning in. We will have a podcast on Monday, as far as I'm aware. You have a good night too, James. So tune into that podcast then. And we might be announcing a forward compatible next week. I'm not sure. I'm going to talk to Jake about it. But yeah, Austin, thanks for joining. I apologize that the last third of that stream just became me talking about the Division story.
That's fine.
If you haven't come to expect that, you really should. I go off on rants, and the only way to stop me is to tell me to stop. Just FYI. If you're ever like, Steven, shut up. Like, if you ever have that thought, say it. It won't hurt my feelings. But that's the show. I will talk to you guys Monday. Have a great rest of your weekend.